rolling into week 15. It's supposed to be the fantasy playoffs, but some of you guys still got to make some tough choices. Some of you guys are caught in a rock and a hard place, and you got to make a gamble. And some of you guys are looking at these stashes, wondering who to stash because you do not want to go up against some of these players in weeks 15, 16, 17. So you want to hoard them so nobody else can have them. Chase Brown's one of those players. Chase Brown is a player that a lot of people are thinking about right now. He's held tightly against a lot of people's hearts because he's a flashy running back with a lot of upside. We're going to cover today whether or not you need him for fantasy football. Is he a good stash? We're going to look at the news, the facts, the data, the advanced analytics, and everything else. But what you need to do right now, click that subscribe button. Tap it with the finger on the phone. Click it with the mouse on the computer because I'm here to help you with the waiver wire every week, even though we only got a few weeks left. I'm here to help you set your lineups. I'm here for you with these tough decisions with all these videos. Also in the off season, I'm a key resource for your drafts as I'm dropping videos day after day after day with content on these players with advanced analytics and their player values and how they should be valued in drafts. Click that button. Stop missing out. Let's look at Chase Brown here real quick. And he has been a hot piece at the running back position these last few weeks. A hot waiver wire get this week. Should have been picked up, but a lot of you guys have him on your roster and you're wondering what to do with him. Or is there on waivers and you're like, man, should I or should I not? Should I or should I not? Week 14, he went off for 19.5 PPR fantasy points, 8 carries, 25 yards, 3 catches, 80 yards, and we had that long touchdown. He's explosive. He can score on any touch. If Green's in front of him, he could score, and that's his game. That's his game right now, unless something happens to Mixon, and he's going to be seeing a lot of touches here, and we're looking at the fantasy scoring, and really, we just got the last 2 weeks to look at. We saw the Jacksonville game, and what built him up there is he was getting snaps intermittently in the start of that game and some touches, some opportunities there, and also looking good with the ball in his hands. And then week 14 happens, and we are pegging him up as a guy you need to stash, you need to hoard, and he goes off. 19.5 PPR fantasy points. Looking good. You're also seeing the opportunities increase, touches and targets. A good thing to see. 9 and 11. Keaton Mitchell hasn't had a game with over 10 touches in a game. That being said, we have 11 already here for Chase Brown. Chase Brown getting those opportunities. We have a 4.43 40-yard dash with this guy. 89th percentile speed score. A good burst score. This guy's explosive. He was very productive at Illinois last year with over 1,600 rushing yards. One of the most productive running backs at all of college football. He was at the Power 5 level, did well against Michigan, a top defense, and you know what? He fell in the draft a little bit because it was a tough draft for running backs. We had a lot of good running backs who were talented, one of the most talented running back classes we've ever seen. It was deep, and the economics of things didn't shake out too well for the running back position. We saw a lot of running backs fall rounds farther than what we thought they'd get drafted at, and that was just part of the demand and the supply. The demand's not high at the running back position. You can tell by the contracts these running backs are trying to fight for in the offseason, and then the supply was high. We had a lot of good running backs in last year's draft. That's why we're seeing some late round gems in this year's draft class, because some of these running backs fell a little farther than usual due to the economics. Chase Brown's one of them. He's explosive. He's got some upside. We saw it on the field. We've already seen it at the NFL level. The numbers say it. What we see on the highlights say it. If you saw it on tape, that's what we're seeing right now. We're looking at the offense here. It's been the Joe Mixon show. It's going to be the Joe Mixon show until it's not the Joe Mixon show. But we're rolling into this matchup here, and we got Nick Mullins at quarterback for the Vikings. That shakes everything up. Even though Chase Brown's starting to see some opportunities, even though Joe Mixon's been holding it down, as you can see, 201 carries on the season, Nick Mullins, if he decides to throw a bunch of picks, if he's turnover city, then we're going to be looking at this matchup here that has a 40.5 over-under, scratching our heads, and this could go ballistic for the Bengals. It could be a lot like that Chargers game, or it could be ugly. It could be an ugly one. Who knows? But Browning's been serving good, and the team's been moving the ball quite a bit. We got Mixon in the fold here, but we want to get him further into the season. We want to meat shield him a little bit. That means we need to get some touches to Chase Brown. Think about the long term here for the rest of the season. We got the Vikings here. We're hurting at quarterback. What if the worst happens there? But we look at the Vikings' run defense. It ain't pretty. They rank 30th in the league. Fantasy points allowed to running backs, just 12.4 per game. We've had 2 running backs hit 20-plus PPR fantasy points, Christian McCaffrey and DeAndre Swift. We have not had a running back hit 15 to 20 PPR fantasy points on the season. That's very rare. And we've had 1 running back hit 10 to 15 fantasy points in a game on these guys. However, we've had 10 games this season where a running back did not hit double digits. That is very concerning for this matchup. Also, the Vikings are a pass funnel defense. You'd rather throw the ball on them. You'd rather throw it deep. You'd rather be fast-paced. You'd rather just sling it in the air. So when it comes to using your running backs, you kind of want to use them more in the passing game. You kind of want to spread it around like that. However, it's kind of tight here against the run, but you could open things up because we got the new Big Dick Nick, and if he's slinging turnovers, if he's slinging those interceptions downfield, we're fumbling the ball all over the place. This won't matter. This won't matter, and if the Bengals got the lead, they're going to be giving Chase Brown some opportunities. They're going to be giving him some touches, and we could be seeing that. And as he's ranked here on 4 for 4 here, we like to use their rankings because they're conservative, and you know I can get kind of wild at times. He's ranked 48 at the running back position. He's the RB 48. When I look at him mixed up with a lot of these runners, and I look at the matchup here, and when I think about this, I feel like Chase Brown has more upside compared to a lot of these guys in the mix. From Amir Abdullah, who's already played. I don't even know why I said that. But from Chris Rodriguez all the way down to Dearness Johnson, Chase Brown has a lot of upside. He does. And then him versus Gus Edwards. Very interesting. Gus Edwards sharing the backfield. Chase Brown sharing the backfield. Gus Edwards is a little bit safer. You know what you're going to get. I feel like he's a safer play here, because you know you're going to be able to get the opportunities to get that goal line score, get those goal line opportunities. Chase Brown's got some upside, more of a home run swing, and that's what I'm looking at. Like I've been saying about Keaton Mitchell, I can say the same thing about Chase Brown. You can really slide them in together, because honestly, we're looking at fantasy point scoring portfolios here, and we're looking at a running back here that can really take off on any handoff or catch out of the backfield and go gusto and score on you. Or he gets locked down because he's only getting a few touches, 8 to 11 a game on the 2-game sample here, where you do not know if that defense is going to be able to corral him. If they corral him, you may get a 6 spot in today's matchup. You may get that. However, if they don't, you may get another 19.5 pointer. That's the thing. He's a gamble, and that's why you look at one of these running backs, you get those questions, and you're kind of like, I don't know. And that's why. It's a shot in the dark here. There's a lot of upside. And can say that when I look at him compared to like a Latavius Murray or compared to Samaje Perine, I feel better just taking that home run swing and taking it on the chin if I miss. Honestly, when I think about that. But that's up to you. That's depending on how risk adverse you want to be. But Chase Brown has some goods. If you need some touches, if you need some upside, if you need a swing for the fence, he's your guy. However, if you don't want to risk it, if you don't like this matchup, if you got some other running backs, if you're working with the flex, you got some wide receivers, then you may want to look the other way depending on what you're playing with here. He's a home run swing. And that's what we can say. He's either going to hit the ball over the fence and go off, because that's what's in his prospect profile, just like Keaton Mitchell. Just another type of running back here. He's a safer running back when he's getting a lot of touches, but we're not getting that right now. It's the Joe Mixon show until it's not. And it could be him getting touches in the fourth quarter if Big Dick Nick Mullins throws interceptions left and right, fumbles the ball all over the place, and we could be rocking and rolling. But remember, he's a gamble. But if you're with players and you're looking at them, they don't have much upside, you're not feeling good, maybe you want to hit that home run. Maybe you want to swing for the fence. That's on you. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.